Login accepted.
Okay, so like I mentioned, you upset a witch in the CLA corridor, and you have to collect all the flags to kind of reverse the hex before the 31st. So let's see who escaped the witch. Third place, we have Shamad. Woo! Congrats. If you are online, that is completely fine. Please DM me or anyone on our dev team, and we can get you your gift card. Next up, we have Uchi Mama for second place. Woo! Oh, awesome. That's really great. Yeah, we can get you your prize right after we finish up with this. And first place, oh my God, I wonder who it is. Calvin Hua. Woo! I believe this person's Discord was Calburb, but yes, I think this person also joined a little bit later in the comp, so it is really great to see first place. Very insane. Congrats to all the winners. Woo! And we will be distributing the gift cards. Next up, we have our solutions. We will go over that right now. But yeah, let's head into that. So I'm going to log into my Camino. It's going to take a little second. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a fresh template of our competition. Like we mentioned in the briefing packet, all of the hacking was meant to be done from a single Kali machine. And this wasn't to be confusing. It was just because it is easier for everyone. Kali is pre-installed with many hacking tools that can be very helpful for this competition. And in general, it was just an easier attack chain to follow. The camera's following everyone but me. Okay. We're gonna log into Kali. So first up, see if I can make this bigger. Wait, where? Can you do it? To find the IPs. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull up our briefing packet right now. It was a big part to be able to know the different IPs because we did try to set static IPs. So you're able to access them from your Kali. So in the attack path, you wanted to go from the Debian 1 to Debian 2 to the Windows 2016. So first off, to do some reconnaissance on Debian 1, you would run a network map scan, which would be nmap, which is something that we covered in the past. Let's see, 192.168.1.138. I'm not sure why it's hanging. There you go. So here we have 3 different services open, and you were supposed to try FTP. So FTP is file transfer protocol. That means that it's going to be like a server that has different files on it, and you do need credentials to log in, but you weren't given any credentials as far as you guys know. So you would need to try to log in anonymously. You would do this by doing FTP, and then you would do that IP again, 38. And so here it asks for your name. So to log into FTP anonymously, if you looked it up, it would just be anonymous. And then there would be no password because we edited the FTP config to be vulnerable intentionally to have no password for anonymous. And here you are, you finally got in. So that is your first step. You will check the files that are in here, and you will get both of them. Let's see. And we're going to exit this. And now back in our main Kali, we have these two text files up here. So we want to read both of these and kind of see what's going on. The first one says, "Dear intern, welcome to the Ghost Gate security team. I was told to train a new hire because they say I get distracted too much, which never happens unless I see a car or a bird or a butterfly. You can get your credentials at this site." So this is the site that you need to navigate to. And then it has equals token on it. So let's try that out first. Give it a second for Firefox to load up. We're gonna do 192.168, what is it? 1.138.80.80. Forgot if it looked like this. There you are. So it says where you're trying to go. You need a token. So clearly we're missing something here. And we're going to check back in our terminal. Okay, there's two files. We should look at what the other one says. And the other one says a lot of text that I'm not going to read right now. But at the very end, it says, "I never leak info, especially secret tokens like Scare Night Shift Secrets." And this was the first flag you had to enter into CTFD. But that is also going to be our secret token. We're going to copy that. And then we're going to go back to the Firefox. Where is it? Oh my God. We're going to go back here and we're going to enter this in as our secret token. We're going to enter. Ooh, oh, you need token on it. There you are. So you successfully tricked the system into thinking that you are the new intern because you do have the secret token. It says here are your root credentials, Scare, Meow, Melody. So for most of our flags, we had it so the flags were the credentials themselves for the next challenge, just to make it a little more guided for you. We're going to copy this so I don't have to type out that. Copy that. And then now we do have our root login. So, oops. I think it was just user. Okay. Okay. So, oopsie. Now we're into the Debian box with the Night Shift Secrets flag that we saw earlier. So now we are going to go into root for this Debian. Hold on. That's like Sue, right? Okay. Now we're gonna do MySQL root. Okay. That took a little while, but now we're into the MariaDB server. And to look around at our tables, we're gonna do show databases. We'll see we have all these different ones, but the one that's on theme is graveyard. So we're going to do use graveyard. And then we're going to do show tables. Here we have ghosts and passwords. So if we do select from ghosts. Oh. Here we see we have all these users. They have 5 users, so we don't know which one to log into. And so if we do select from passwords. Oh, hold on. You can tell it's not like pre-recorded, right? We're doing it on the fly. So now you see ID 4 is Scare, Chilling, Chant. And if you go up here again, Banshee is going to be our number 4. So this is going to be our credentials to get into Debian 2. And you're going to copy selection. I believe it's like exit. Yes. And then we're going to have our second dev show us Debian 2.
Thank you, Audrey. All right. Now that we've established that Banshee is going to be a user, we'll SSH in. Actually, if you wanted to, you could. Actually, you should scan it first. So let's see. Okay, that's 192.168.1.137. Right, that's crazy. Oh, never mind. Give it a second. Okay, the only service up is SSH, but since you're given creds, that should be no problem. SSH, let's do Banshee. Uh, that's crazy. I didn't copy it. No, I copied it. Just in case. Slow. Yeah. Okay, you are now in as Banshee on Debian 12, but there will be a twist because you can't really do anything here because of a certain shell on Linux called rbash. However, through multiple updates to the CTF question, I hope I made it a bit easier. There was a hint for checking the password file for any information that may have been there, or if you ran limps, it might have told you anyways. So let's look at that. And due to the design of the parser file being globally readable on Linux, you could see everything in the parser file, and there happens to be a hash that's left here for the Potion user. So we can copy that over and crack it with hashcat. Okay. Just Uh, due due to developer miscommunication, I was also under the impression that there was a word list within the system, but it got deleted in the process. So the alternative is to just cancel your SSH session, and since Kali comes with rocku.txt by default, you can use it there. So, uh, so. Okay. The hash that I used for this was the MD5 crypt hash. If you go to Hashcat documentation and look for example hashes, and you scroll down to one that looks similar to this, it would say MD5 Unix, and the mode was 500. Oh, that's very convenient. Give me a second while I unzip the Rocky word list. Okay, let's try this again. Hashcat. All right, as it goes, I believe you can. It should it should run pretty quickly. So, because the password that I chose is a bit higher in the word list. Oh look, it stopped and it's cracked. Oh no, oh look. There's our frog themed password, Froggy123. Uh, hopefully that didn't take so long on your guys' end, but now that we have the password for potion, we can SSH back in. Well, one-handed typing is incredible. And look at that. We are out of the Banshee user. Uh, and I left a user flag in the documents folder, I believe. CD documents. And there we go, cat It's a bit like it's a bit inspired from Hack the Box. That's typically uh it's either desktop or documents, but it's typically where you would find a user flag for Hack the Box. Uh So moving on, what do you do from here? I believe a lot of you ran Limpies because it's a lot easier to download on something without our bash. Uh, for the sake of time, I will not run Limpies because Limpies takes a long time. The Limpies output will say base64 SUID bit. Base64 with SUID bit enabled means that you can run base64 with the permissions of root, which effectively gives you root read access to the entire file system. And when you have something uh privileged read access to an entire system, you should check for SSH keys, like areas that give you remote access, and SSH keys is one of them. So where would an SSH key be? They're typically in the home user in a hidden folder called .ssh. Uh, and keys, at least commonly, they can be called ID RSA. They can be a different type of key. It just depends on the key type. So, all right, B64 slash slash SSH ID RSA 64. As you can see, the private key is on full display. Uh, due to developer mishaps as well, I did not hint that there was an SSH key. Uh, Another developer actually gave me this idea, but I think I underestimated that it would be. I thought it would be easier, but so that's my apologies. But as you can see, there is an SSH key here. Let me see if I can copy it over because this is a little too large. Let's do key and ls. Great. Now that there's a key, I can see if I can SSH in as root. And I think I get to do local dash I. Wait, no, yeah, no, that won't work. That's crazy. Okay, there is SSH does not like the permissions. So I will give it very restrictive permissions. That should change it. I set it to read and write only. Now let's try this again. Great. And as you can see, I am the root user now. Uh, in typical hack the box style, the root flag and whatever related information that you would need would be in their home directory. So you have the root flag as well as the frog passwords and the witch usernames for you to prevesc or for you to pivot into the third Windows machine. So let's count the roots. And there you go. In the theme of the method for prevesking, the flag is scare SUID bits. And now for the Windows box.
Hey. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. So the first one I'll start off with is the number zero, the strange unrecognized services one. So give me one sec. Um, So, funny story. It was actually cloned before a static IP was set. But luckily, this is a learning opportunity for us because now you guys know that you can use Nmap to scan entire subnets. So, we're gonna do that right now. So, since we are scanning a very large subnet, it's gonna take a little longer, but it'll be worth it.
Typically when you scan a subnet, uh, if you're only just looking for hosts that are up, you don't need to do a service scan like this one is. You could just do nmap-sn for like ping scan. But because it seems to be going faster, we'll just let the service scan complete.
Thank you guys for your patience. So the flag specifically asked to check for service version, which is why we did the dash S capital V, which is, like Daniel mentioned, also why it's kind of taking a while. But basically, to kind of explain the thought process behind this, the service that we're going to find from the scan, it's not going to be like an actual Windows service. It's actually just a PowerShell script of a kind of banner that I put up solely to be a flag for this competition. And the description also said it's on port 12345, which of course isn't really a known port for most services. And that's why Nmap is going to be like, oh, like, why isn't it like we don't recognize this flag? And then the flag shows up in the error description.
Okay, so for now, the Nmap scan is taking longer than we had anticipated. So we're going to go back to the Debian 1. There were some miscellaneous flags from the CTFD that were like not part of the attack chain. So it was just so you could have some extra little stuff to go through. So we're going to SSH into that Debian machine again. Kind of forgot the IP. So that one. Was Debian 1.7 or 8? It's on my. Oh, 138. Okay. We're gonna get back in here. Okay. So if you had gone through every folder, you would see that pictures has its own little thing in there. So we're gonna CD into that. And we have an image here. I'm gonna try EXIF tool, which is for analyzing metadata in images. And so here we don't see a flag yet, but kind of scanning through here, you see that there's just like general default info. Then you see like a weirdly long software. You're like, what is that? I haven't heard of that one before. So that's going to be our flag. I'm going to copy this. And then back to the Kali, we're going to put that into our own file. We're going to call this like, I'm going to call it molly.txt. And then we're going to do hashcat molly.txt. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's in base 64. There we go. There's our flag. And so you'd enter that in as your miscellaneous for the Debian 1. And then let's check back up on that Nmap scan. Is that it?
That's not right. Why is everything up in this subnet? Do you want to do the other flag in the meantime? Okay, through some cheating, I I consoled into the Windows machine and I statically set the Windows box with the correct IP address. This is the IP address that is on the briefing packet, and let's just say like a 50% chance that the HCP will select 140 uh when it starts the Windows machine. So yeah, apologies for that.
Okay, thanks again, guys, for waiting. Sorry, I don't know what was going on with Nmap, but the number 0 for Windows here, it's you see it says one service unrecognized despite returning data, and then you'll see down here the flag says scare spooky service in elite, so it's not in there the recognized ones. But if we see more on the Nmap scan, we can see that it has things like Kerberos and LDAP to indicate that it is a domain controller. So yeah, just getting some good info from there. And then for the next flag, let me see, just checking my notes again. So in F flag, we try to get the user list and password list, which is indicated that it's hidden in the root of the Debian 2 machine. So we can go ahead and break into that one. Just give me one sec again to pull up the notes. Okay. All right. So this is assuming that you've already gotten access to the Debian 2 machine. And here we can do ls, and that's where the user list and the password list for the Windows machine are. So we can go ahead and use the scp command to download these two files. Yeah. So with this command, SCP is secure copy, so SSH needs to be on. So we're copying the files that were in the root directory of Debian 2 into slash home slash Kali, which is our current directory on the Kali machine. The asterisk.txt is a wildcard, so it allows us to download all of the text files in the directory instead of having to do it one by one. So that's just a nice little trick. And then if we ls, you can see that it shows up in our Kali machine. So with that, we can now use netexec to use password spraying to break into the Windows machine. And I'll go ahead and type in the command here. All right, so this is netexec and it's using the LDAP protocol. Netexec is specifically for exploding, or not exploding, exploiting Windows protocols. LDAP is kind of like a mini phone book used for like the Active Directory services to get information on like its uh, users and devices. And as you can see here, it's trying like every username and hey guys, what's up? Every username and password combination in within the which usernames.txt and frog passwords.txt. So as you can see here on the bottom with the little plus sign, it shows the user and password combination that actually worked through password spraying, and the user's name is Hecate, and the password is scare number one fun frog in the brackets. All right, so that now means that we have user credentials onto the Windows system, which is really nice. With that, we can continue using netexec to exploit more and like enumerate more info. So after that, let me see just on the next one what it was. All right, so that was Frog fans. Number two is going to be find the Windows users. So here with Hecate's credential, we can enumerate more users on the machine. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I'm trying to be photogenic. Oh, wait, if this can do it, okay. Just make it to 4 bro. It's okay. Is it good? So from our net exec, or wait, not from our Nmap scan, if you remember, I forgot to point it out, but there were other ports open, and those ports specifically were for Samba, which is a file sharing protocol for sharing files over the network. So we're going to exploit that protocol with netexec with the credentials we found. The dash dash users is going to enumerate more users onto the system, and we needed Hecate's credentials for that, or enumerate more users that are on the system. And it just kind of takes some time to run the command. All right, so here in the description of the flag, it also says that the flag was in one of the user descriptions. So here we have, oh, that's Hecate, that's the user that we password sprayed to get her credentials. And it just says here that in her description, oh, she's the goddess of witchcraft. But here, oh, what? There's a user called Flag, and they have a flag in their description. Crazy. So yeah, that's just one of the flags. All right. And then this next one is going to be very similar, but instead of users this time, we're going to enumerate info about the SMB shares. So pretty much the same command, but instead of dash dash user, you put dash dash shares. Again, it just kind of takes some time. Thank you all for your patience. Super sorry about the bugs. It's our first time putting a Taylor comp. But yeah, it's also like really slow, like not sure why. Maybe it's Halloween. It's cursed, yeah. Let's go with that. Okay, so here you can see all of the SMB shares. We increased the size, so the formatting's kind of weird, but typically it's gonna be in these like four columns here with the share permissions and then the remarks, which is kind of like the descriptions. And then here in the potion recipes share, it has the flag called scare reminder. And then it looks like Hecate has read access to potion recipe share, but she doesn't have read access to cure ingredient one. That's kind of a hint for the future flags. But with that information, since we know the name of the shares and we have Hecate's user credentials, we can use SMB client to kind of break in and see what's on the shares. So this one's called Getting Potions. All right, so we're using SMB client to specify the IP address and then the slash potion recipes share. The syntax is a little tricky here because instead of a lowercase u, you have to do an uppercase U and the username, which is kind of weird because all the other ones, it was a lowercase u, but minor detail. So gonna run this and then it's going to prompt me for Hecate's password. Just gotta give it a sec. Oh, one sec. Sorry, I had the wrong IP address. All right. So we're into the potion shares, um, SMB share with Hecate's password. Pretty cool, right? And then with that, we can see what's inside of it with LS, kind of like with Linux machines. So as you can see here, there's two potions. It's potion1.txt and potion2.txt. We can go ahead and just use the get command to download them. All right, so we got them with SMB client, and now we can use cat to see what's inside those text files. All right, so it just has a little recipe for the potion, but also another flag. Ooh, it's Eye of Newt and Lee. Very on theme for the, oh yeah, half cup of Swift Ebor tears. Gonna have more than a half cup after this workshop, but we can also concatenate the other one, which, what? What are all of these letters and numbers? That's an NTLM hash. It's an outdated cryptographic thing from Windows. So we can use this to log in to the administrator without a password. Like we can just have this hash. So, the tool we use for that is, let's see, evil win RM. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to break into this one. And this is the fifth flag for Windows, which is called Who Needs Passwords? All right, so this is the syntax for the evil win RM. So from the again, from the nmap scan, if you can remember, another thing I needed to point out is with the nmap scan, another service that was open was WinRM, which is kind of like remote desktop protocol, except you only get access to kind of like a terminal shell. So you don't get any GUI. If you remember Raymond's Windows hacking workshop, he also explained the difference. And he also mentioned that with Evil WinRM, you don't need a password if you have the NLM hash. So here, -I is just the IP address, the -U is the user, and then -H is where we can put in the NLM hash, NTLM hash that we got from the potion2.txt. So we can load up that. And oh, what? Isn't that cool? We got administrator access now without even having to have the password. Isn't Windows hacking so fun? So here we can see we're just in documents right now, but we want to kind of change the directories to the admin only directory of cure ingredient one. I'll go ahead and type that in. All right, so we can see the contents of cure ingredient one, and it's another TXT file, and we can go ahead and use WinRM to download it. All right, so the syntax here is just download and then // for the current directory, and then the name of the file. And then the one after it is just where we want the file to be downloaded to on our Kali machine, which is just /home/Kali. Download successful. Okay, so we can go ahead and exit out of evil WinRM, and then we can see that it's in there, and we can go ahead and cat out the text for the cure text we found. And so I just put this little Shakespeare poem for a little fun because it was on theme with the double, double, toil and trouble. It's kind of bars. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of fenny snake. Okay, I'm not gonna do the rest of that. I won't torture you guys like that. But in the bottom here is scare wool of bat because that was the one in one of the ingredients. All right, so that was the Windows box. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay. So the final flags left are there was one miscellaneous flag on Debian 1, and then we have Alex's flag, which are all the Wireshark flags. So we're gonna go back to Debian 1, and then we're just gonna SSH in. Thanks for hanging in there. We have 12 people on the Zoom. Y'all are real ones. We've been here for so long. Y'all are trapped till we finish. Okay. Does that work?
Yeah, it works.
Perfect. Can you mute on there? Okay. Now we are going to finally get this done. Thanks for hanging in there. It's been a long time. Okay. So we are going to go through this midnight incantation flag from, yes, we have to find the dot incantation. So we're going to do echo spell flag. And then this is going to be our hash. We're going to copy this selection. We're going to open it up in CyberChef. Okay, I don't think my machine has an internet connection. Okay, so we are going to do this just from the terminal then. From base 64. So we're going to copy this. Okay, so now we see we decoded it with base 64, and we see that we kind of have a flag. And so if you had internet connection, you would try different ciphers, and this ended up being route 13. So let's see. To do route 13 decode on Kali. Yikes. Okay. There we go. There is our flag. We finally got there. At 5:37. So that sums up all of the flags, except for our Wireshark flags, which we will finally have our Swinter and Alex show for us. Yeah.
All right, now, first of all, let's pull up Wireshark here. Load up. Cool. Now, there should be, okay, there you go. There are the three PCAP files that we have there. Now, I'll be going over the first flag, the first Halloween. So I'll be going over the first Halloween traffic flag, which, I mean, let's see. I'll open up the Happy Halloween PCAP file. All right, what we do here is, what we want to do is we just want to right click here on any of the packets, follow the TCP stream, and this looks like gibberish. So let's change to show as raw. This is also gibberish, but yeah, that's the first one. Yeah, yeah. And then just click save as, and then really you can name it whatever you want as long as you save it as a PNG file. So let's do that. And then if we pull that up, wait. Okay. Pull it up here. You'll see that's where the flag is right there. So that is the first Wireshark flag. The second one, which is in the Candy PCAP file. Okay. Now, what what you would need to do is you'd need to find your machine's IP address. Now, okay, that's the wrong one. It's here. So if we get our IP address, now originally what this would say is 192.168.1 and 120. That's the IP address originally, but technical difficulties, unfortunately. So what you need to do here is that if you pull up ip.bst and then you're looking for your IP address, which would be 192.168.1, that, and then right click that, follow TCP stream, you and show as ASCII. You'd find the flag right there. And so that is the second Halloween traffic flag. Now for the ARP packets, ARP Halloween traffic, you'd have to pull up forged PCAP file. Now what we're looking for here is we're looking for the packet that was sent on October 13th, 2025. So what we would do for that is we're doing in the filters, we put down frame.time. You could just do, I mean, you could either do frame.time or frame.time underscore UTC. For UTC, just it's more general. And then we want to put this, it's under the format year, month, day. So 2025. If we do that, oh, okay, nice. Do right click this, and then we have to, what was it? Oh, it shows up here, and we'll see over here, October 13th, 2025. And if we slide over here on the bottom right window, we'll see the flag is right there. It's a little messed up, but that's the flag right there. And yeah, that's it for the Wireshark flags.
All right. I think that just about covers the flags. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, one sec.
All right. So much for for watching us struggle through this. Hopefully it shows that everyone's gonna struggle through it, even people that developed it. So congrats to everyone, including if you don't feel like you did that well, you did amazing. And that wraps up our lab. Oh, and for the gift card winners, we will reach out to you over Discord to get you your gift card codes. Bye bye. Happy Halloween.